Straight up. So I want to talk about, if you can, the when you did Kings of Comedy. Um, how was that experience? Because I don't know if everyone know you was one of the original. You was the original host,
Original
right?
host, yeah,
Yeah, for
yeah.
Kings of Comedy. And I remember that was something I found out like a few years back, and I was like, damn, I didn't know that shit. You know what I'm saying? So how did you land that spot? And how was that experience doing that show?
I can't talk about that too much because we just interviewed Steve Harvey for my project, and he breaks it down beautifully.
Okay,
And
good.
so we're talking about that. But I would say Fat Tuesdays had something to do with that. You know, they wanted somebody who who was going to make it, not make it about them. And at
Mm.
the time, I was doing comedy 5 years, barely 5 years in the game. So I was really, I was more like the prince of the Kings of Comedy than I was the king of comedy. So they wanted somebody who had the hardest room in the country. I got along with everybody, and you know, when you see the documentary, you'll understand, you know, how that came about. But yeah, it was a great experience because it grew me up. That tour grew me up. I went from being a comic to a comedian.
Straight up,
Because
man.
comic says funny things, a comedian make things funny. And watching those guys on stage night after night after night after night kill and destroy in these 10,000 seat arenas. I mean, 15,000 sometimes. I mean, bam, it was like, wow. And I just had jokes back then. I didn't have an act. I just had jokes. Big
Man,
difference.
man, I tell people Steve Harvey is because I'm gonna personally talk about Bernie Mac, but Steve Harvey is so funny, bruh. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't understand how funny he was until I started listening to his radio show. It wasn't even
Man,
the Kings of Comedy movie. It wasn't that, because for me, Bernie Mac was the be all, you know, the end all, the be all. When I saw Kings of Comedy, I was just like, this dude. That's to this day the hardest I've ever laughed. I'm not joking when I say this. I blacked out and came back. That's how hard. I remember being in my bed watching when he was doing that. I laughed so hard. I promise you, I went black, and then I came back too, and I was like, "Holy shit, bro!" That's when I was like, "He's the funniest thing
well, well, try seeing that for 52 shows
ever."
and laughing every time. With Cedric set, with Steve, with Bernie, and we did 52 shows that tour. And then with me, I was at the same time I was hosting Kings of Comedy, I was doing a movie Life. So I was on the
Oh,
set with Bernie all the time. So it was this continuous, you know, Bernie. And me and Bernie spent at least every day together, probably for about, at least about 3 months. I think I worked on Life for about 3 months. So about 3 months, you know, because Sunday through Thursday, we were on set, and then um, Friday, Saturday, you know, we was on tour. So it was,
man.
and then being going from that, and then going to on set to be with Martin and Eddie,
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
doing Life, and Bernie Steele at part of that, and Miguel Nunez and Anthony Anderson. Everybody was funny on that set.
who was the funniest on that set?
Bernie.
Bernie.
Bernie, because Bernie would hold court. Bernie loved holding court and telling stories. So Bernie used to have Eddie Murphy die, and come on, when you have Eddie Murphy die, you
Well,
know,
see,
when you have Eddie Murphy die,
this is what I found surprising. I was watching Eddie Murphy's comedians and cars getting coffee with Jerry Seinfeld.
right, right,
And Jerry
that's a good one.
Seinfeld said, "Yo, Bernie Mac may be one of the funniest comedians to ever like." This Jerry Seinfeld saying this, that, you know, and he white too. I can understand a black comedian saying this.
Right,
Jerry
right.
Seinfeld said, "Yo, I think Bernie Mac is probably one of the funniest humans to ever walk this earth." And Eddie was like, "Bernie, really, Bernie?" And I was kind of surprised that Eddie was saying that, because I'm like, yes, nigga, Bernie, yes. Like, but
Well,
he started naming like older comedians, and I get it.
right.
He started naming like people from like he grew up watching, so I could understand that might be why. But even even somebody like a Chappelle, even somebody I think of an older generation can be like, Chappelle is he's one of the greatest, even if you didn't grow up seeing him. I think you could look at the material and be like, I mean, I don't know. I might be speaking
Well,
for too many people.
comedy is subjective.
Right.
That's why it's hard to answer those questions, especially as comedians, because we get influenced by a lot of people.